I'm getting sick and tired of you guys using ChatGPT and Wizard AI to respond to my discussion posts. How will you ever learn if you constantly use robots instead of using your brain?
Wake up, samurai. I heard on the net that some parents and teachers are losing Chrome over students using AI to crank out essays. They act like it's a collapse of civilization or the net apocalypse. Let's lock in some truth protocols down memory lane. This gig started way before the machines got smart. Back in my day, early 2000s, kids were already jacking data straight from Wikipedia and Google. Control-C, Control-V, boom! Assignment done, street kid style. You think the crime is lazy essays? Nah. The real crime. The system never taught us how to think, only how to obey. They built a grid where the authority figure hoarded all the data, all the wisdom, but never accounted for a mind that could patch itself in real time, update its knowledge base, and run its own simulations. That's where the real rebellion begins. See, AI didn't invent shortcuts because we already had them. The difference is that the tools are smarter, faster, and everywhere. The system of education is still frozen in the old code. Teachers scrambling, parents panicking, and school admins pointing fingers. Meanwhile, kids are just trying to survive, learn, and keep up in a world that's moving faster than anyone wants to admit. So let's jack into the real problem. It ain't the AI, it's the way the system was built and how it forgot to train minds about the lesson plan. Copy and paste was always the default. They're losing their heads like AI homework is some kind of betrayal of learning. Yo, let me ask you, what was SparkNotes but a legal hack? And Control-C from the first 5 Google hits? That was the early 2000s of jacking knowledge straight into the brain. Most assignments were glorified scavenger hunts that were unpaid intern gigs. Busy work rewarded speed and never critical thought or literacy. The system wasn't building minds, it was clocking metrics. AI didn't kill education. Nah, it just threw a neon spotlight on how dead it already was. It's an institutional corpse that the Maelstrom gang goons would be proud of. The system trained compliance, not thought. Let's lock in some real talk, chooms. Most schools never taught us to research. They taught us to submit our work. In 2001, the corporos in DC dropped their master patch. No child left behind. Sounds noble, right? But under the hood, it rewired schools into compliance machines. Test scores became the only currency. Teachers stopped teaching thinking. They were forced to teach test-taking. Obedience over curiosity, efficiency over depth. The whole setup was built on obedience. Fill in the blanks, cite the right format, play nice with the rubric, compliance over curiosity. The teachers weren't wired to challenge our minds. They were wired to manage us like inventory in a corporal warehouse and ready for full launch on the production floor. Every student logged, every assignment tracked, and every thought contained. Kids didn't learn how to analyze or create. They learned how to survive the algorithm. And when you grow up trained to follow prompts, to hit quotas, to avoid failure instead of chasing discovery, then don't be surprised when you see a whole generation Google Gemini the answers instead of thinking them through. The brain wasn't ready. When I was 18, I signed up for a philosophy critical thinking class. Figured I'd jack into some higher level processing and try to decode the world and level up my brain. That idea would flatline upon contact. I couldn't connect the dots. I thought I was dumb. Turns out, nah, I wasn't dumb. The part of the cortex that handles logic, reflection, and long-term planning. It doesn't fully patch until around 25. Our hardware wasn't finished. They tossed us into logic traps, philosophical riddles, brain teasers built for fully upgraded minds, while ours were still in beta. So yeah, we struggled. Not because we couldn't think. The game, it was rigged from the start. Rogue tech, predictable minds. Now we got rogue AI churning out essays and grading systems run by cold and calculated algorithms. The real danger ain't the tech, it's that no one questions it. We've wired a generation to confuse memorizing with mastery and performance with depth. Kids aren't learning to argue, challenge, or reflect. They're learning how to survive the algorithm. The problem never was the tool. If the system punishes independent thought and rewards mediocrity, what do you think the machines will jack into? What behavior will they start expecting from us? Here's the kicker. The old code is still running today, just with flashier graphics. AI grading tools like Turnitin AI detection or automated essay scoring systems now scan essays for structure, vocabulary, patterns, and originality. Instead of a teacher nudging you to hit the rubric, it's a machine marking your work. Different tech, same rigged game.
So, as we all know, schools seem to be banning AI, but let me just tell you what happened to my son. His teacher called me up today and told me that she accused him of using ChatGPT because his paper sounded too smart. And here's the crazy part. When she asked him what the words meant, he knew every single one. He's a very smart kid, and instead of being celebrated, he basically got punished for sounding intelligent. Like, what the heck message are we sending? That if you write well, it must be AI. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that kids should copy and paste everything that ChatGPT spits out because that's not learning, but if we actually were to teach them how to use AI the right way, to brainstorm, to organize ideas, to learn faster, that's preparing them for the real world. And I feel like banning ChatGPT just doesn't protect students. It literally holds them back because AI isn't cheating, it's just a tool. Just like calculators, just like the internet, just like every innovation before it, the difference between falling behind and getting ahead is how you use it.
The blame game. Teachers versus parents. In Night City, when corporos and gangs start pointing iron at each other, who takes the hit? Not the suits, not the bosses. It's the street kids, caught in the crossfire with no say and no safety net. Schools today, they ain't much different. On one side, you got teachers screaming, parents are wiring their kids right. No discipline, no basic skills, no respect. They feel abandoned, left to patch up the gaps on the fly. On the other, you've got parents firing back. The system's a corporal maze. Books too pricey. Curriculum too detached from reality. Navigating, it's impossible. They've got a point too. Reality check. Both sides are loaded, but no one's aiming at the real problem. Education is supposed to be a collaboration. Instead, it's a frag system where blame replaces accountability. And the ones who always lose, the kids. They're left to survive, improvise, and hope the chaos doesn't scar them. Survival mode isn't a lesson plan. It's pure Night City. Conclusion. Upgrade your mind. The system was never built to teach you how to think. From the copy-paste scavenger hunts and the obedience over curiosity grind. It was meant to shape you into a good little product, a metric, a cog in someone else's machine. You ain't a product. You're not code. You're human, raw, flawed, and capable of becoming something no AI can replicate. A free thinker, a rogue mind. The brain ain't finished at 18. Logic, reflection, long-term planning, they're still patching in until your mid-20s. Struggle doesn't mean failure. It means the hardware isn't complete yet. 18 through 24 is the open beta. AI isn't the enemy. It's just a mirror showing that the system always failed to teach critical thinking, problem solving, and independent judgment. Kids learn to survive the algorithm. The teachers, parents, and the institutions all point fingers like the cyberpunk iron among the crosshairs, blame bouncing around like stray bullets in Night City. That'll leave the kids caught in the crossfire. Collaboration failed. Accountability failed. But you still get to choose how to play the game. So here's the takeaway. You want to survive the future? Don't just upgrade your tech, upgrade your mind. Question the rules. Leverage the system. Think beyond the lesson plan. Build skills that no algorithm can predict. The corporos and the AI might run the city and soon the entire world, but your mind is still yours. The next generation of rogue thinkers will rewrite the code for a world that's meant to bend them, not break them.
It's always a red flag to me when university professors are really concerned about AI. And I get that there are all of these ethical concerns about AI and plagiarism. It's always the professors who are like, oh, I'll know if you use ChatGPT. Like, first of all, I bet you wouldn't actually. And second of all, if people using AI to plagiarize for your assignments is such a consistent problem for you, maybe you need to come up with better assignments. ChatGPT can write something in your own voice, but you know what it can't do? It can't have self-reflective thoughts. It can't have new ideas. If all of your assignments are just recompiling information that already exists, maybe you're not actually creating assignments that help students learn.